new promising gene therapy for the treatment of multiple eye diseases.
My name's Naomi Chadderton, and I'm a research scientist in Jane Farrer's group at Trinity College in Dublin.
What's your research about?
My work's focused on looking to see if we can improve the health of retinal ganglion cells. So the retinal ganglion cells are the cells in the eye that pass the message back along the optic nerve to the brain. And when they get poorly and they lose energy, they don't function very well. So that means that the signals that we interpret as sight don't get passed to the brain. So we've discovered that a little gene called NGI1 can boost the energy in the cells, particularly the energy. We deliver it to the mitochondria, and the mitochondria are like the battery within the cell.
Which eye conditions could be treated with this new gene therapy?
We change the virus that we use to deliver to the eye. So if we use one type of virus and deliver it intravitreally, we directly target the retinal ganglion cells. And by giving them more energy, we're able to look and see if that rescues cells that would have inherited defects from conditions like Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. But ganglion cells also die in more common conditions such as glaucoma that aren't necessarily inherited conditions. And what's been really exciting from the lab this year is that other work that Sophia undertook, where she used the same gene and a different virus, and she injected it into models where we were able to study the photoreceptors and RPE cells. Those cells die in conditions like age-related macular degeneration, and she was able to see benefit in those. So what's really exciting us is that we may be able to use the same gene delivered in different ways to boost the energy in the cell and then potentially counteract this lack of energy in lots of conditions that affect eyes.
What is the application of your project on the lives of vision-impaired people?
What we would like to do is to start the journey to take it towards patients, and to do that we would need to obviously demonstrate that the therapy is safe, like any medicine that goes into humans, and we would have to develop the product to make sure that it would always be the same every time. The virus is biological, so there's a whole journey to showing that you can make a biological product equivalent to the safety parameters you'd see with a tablet or any other form of medication you can take. But there's a whole team of people ahead of us that we can learn from, and there are industry partners that could be interested.
Why donate?
Biological therapies have real potential to change people's lives, but developing them is very expensive. So with extra funding, we can bring cures towards patients much faster, but everything does take a degree of time, and it's very hard to define what that timeline will be. Some of our research and some of the grants that we've had, the money's spent and the research is established, and then we go out and we collaborate with scientists all over the world to further our ideas and bring the project to fruition. And it can take many years, but the scientists are always working away at it and always discussing and interacting with other scientists and seeing what other people have published. We're learning from each other all the time, and that means that with that amount of energy and interest and drive, that we can see a really positive future.
What are your next steps?
We need to go through a number of rounds of raising funding to be able to make the virus as a real true product, GMP virus manufacture, and then we'd have to go through quality testing. Or we have to put a package together such that the federal drug agencies and the European Medicines Agency, they believe that it is a true potential, and they would give the approval to give it to patients in a clinical trial.
How did Fighting Blindness support your group's research in Trinity so far?
So all the work that we do here in Trinity focused on eye diseases within the genetics department was actually founded and initiated by patients. And it's that long relationship that we've had with Fighting Blindness right the way through from long before I started here that has driven the research, and each and every finding we've been able to build on to learn more and more every time. And if we didn't have Fighting Blindness, we wouldn't be able to do the early research that's needed to bring in more and more funding to realise the potential of the work that we do, and that enables the work to reach patients.